Hey everyone, my name's Josh Bryan, and today I'll be talking about the groupthink theory and analyzing its components. To start this theory off, the author of this theory is Irving Janis, who was born in 1918 and completed his doctorate in 1948. He was awarded with many prestigious awards throughout his career, but he focused mainly on decision-making and peer pressure. As is pretty obvious, groupthink comes and relates to both of those, decision-making and peer pressure. It uses an empirical approach and mainly uses real-life situations, which then have been applied to the theory. So, for instance, anything political or in groups has really been applied to groupthink. In a group, what it is a group will tend to make irrational decisions and overestimate their choice due to a number of different variables from within the group. So this could be anything from peer pressure of not wanting to speak up and say what you actually think, or anything of that sort is categorized as groupthink. Okay, so to start out the theory evaluation, the theory has withstood the test of time, being over 30 years old. Much research has gone into it, but however, some scholars do not think that groupthink is very testable. They think that it's more of what they say a grab bag of phenomena that are correlated with each other in a sample. And so no one can really prove or disprove groupthink entirely. There's a lot of situations where it shows where groups do make poor decisions, and it shows that there are some phenomena that are correlated with it, but there's also other situations where it's not necessarily the case, and groupthink may not be to blame as much as the people in the group itself. The current theory status is pretty easy because it's really stood the test of time for so long. It's been proven a lot in a lot of situations. Many people have accepted groupthink, and not much has really been added to it or taken away from it. However, one researcher argues that some basic characteristics of groupthink are not necessarily symptoms of groupthink, but are the result of memories made from past experiences. My recommendations to improve the groupthink theory is first to recognize that correlations and causations are not the same. It's really difficult to distinguish between the two, and sometimes in this theory I feel like correlations are looked at as causations of groupthink, which isn't necessarily the case for a lot of situations. I think that we should go back to the basics of this theory and really look at the skin and bones of what is going on behind the scenes that we may be overlooking due to all the other phenomena that can go on in groupthink. So we should leave out all the multivariable type aspects of the theory, which can really include a lot of things. Even peer pressure would be one that's simple, but can have a lot of variables in it, whether you're talking about people's personality or the leadership or how big of a group or whatever it might be. There's a lot of aspects in the theory that we should leave out. I think that we should stick to group cohesiveness and leadership, and this would help avoid finding other phenomena that just fits the current situation, which is more of a correlation instead of a causation. So to sum up my theory, this theory was originally used for high-pressured groups, but it can really be used by any decision-making group. I even think in a lot of my college classes where we've had to do group projects and do presentations, where there's a bit of groupthink going into it, whether it's how we present it or what the teacher, how they will grade it. There's a lot of ways that groupthink can be applied even into our life day to day. And so there's plenty of examples throughout history as well, and in today's news that show groupthink is present. So it's still a very relevant theory to our life today, and we should learn how to avoid it because it can be very detrimental to anyone involved in the outcome of the decision. And so if we look at politics, for instance, it affects the whole nation, even though it might just be a group of a few people making the decision. Groupthink is very relevant. And so I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time and listening to my presentation.